What's going on, everyone? My name is JJ, or I to my channel today, and welcome to my top 5 things that I think should be implemented into Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. These are just 5 things I've come up with myself, just as ideas that I think would make the game better, more enjoyable, and I guess just more fun to play. So let's begin. Number 5, we have better after game. Now what I mean by that is just once you've completed the game, you beat the Elite Foreign Champion. What else is there to do? In Ruby and Sapphire, when it came out in 2003, all you could do was the Battle Tower, which, if I remember correctly, you could get 50 consecutive wins and get a silver shield, and get 100 consecutive wins and get a gold shield, which were 2 decorations for your secret base, and that is it. That's all you could do in the after game. In Emerald, they kind of made it a little better, as in they introduced the Battle Frontier. And in the Sapphire Zone, you could find more different Pokemon in the Sapphire Zone to help complete your Pokedex, which is a good idea to put in there. The after game in X and Y wasn't the best in my opinion. There wasn't too much to do, but then I myself likes to breed Pokemon, try and get shinies, things like that. So that kind of gave me something to do. However, not everyone's into that sort of stuff, and I completely understand that. And so you need something to do if you want to keep the game entertaining and keep people interested. I personally think that putting a Battle Frontier in Ruby and Sapphire is a good idea. However, I can't see them doing it because Ruby and Sapphire, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are remakes, and as a remake, you just gotta remake the game. And in the games originally, they didn't have the Battle Frontier. Personally, I think the including extra Pokemon after you beat the game in the Sapphire Zone, if they're going to have the Sapphire Zone, I don't actually know if they're putting that in. I would have thought so, but I'm not too sure. If they are, and if they do that, I think that'd be a good idea, because what you'll realise is that there's now 6 regions you got to catch Pokemon from. That's over 700 Pokemon, and originally there was only 3 regions, so it wasn't as many. So now they need to make either new areas or even add another region into the game. Like when I was going through Soul Silver, once you completed the Johto region, you can go back to Kanto and go over to Kanto and beat the gyms there. Now I think that'd be a good idea. However, I don't think they'd have enough data on one little chip to actually manage that. However, that would be a good idea. Alright, so another thing I've got for things that should be included in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire is a trainer level. Now on screen you got very poorly edited trainer card. Apologies for that, I'm not the best. But what a train level is that, like Pokemon, you can level yourself up to level 100. Now, I think that'd be a good idea, because then that gives you a little target yourself to become quite literally the best trainer and be level 100. Now, how you'd gain experience points is by calling good moves. Now, what I mean by that is, if say you got Trico out, and then May has got Torchic, and say you got a Mudkip as well, and you think Torchic is going to go for an Ember, and you switch out the Mudkip to make it not very effective, that could gain you experience points for using a good call. Or if say you've got I don't know, like a Slacking out, or no, you got a Mudkip out, and then you're battling against a Gengar goes for Shadow Ball, you switch out into Slacking, because Slacking's a normal type, the Ghost move can't hit it. That would be classed maybe as a good call, a good move choice. So so that could gain you experience points, because you as a trainer just called a good move, and that's improving your skills. Now what else could there be is using super effective moves. I think this is good as well for younger people who are playing the game, as in first to the game, about 7 or 8. They don't know what super effective like. They're not gonna know unless looking up, which I can't imagine them doing, what Psychic is super effective on. So if they use Psychic on a poison type and it's super effective, they get trained and be like, oh wow, that's super effective, I'll keep doing that. That'll give them that sort of mindset to keep going with. I think that'd be quite good way of leveling up as well. Now, so that's about the whole leveling up system. I think another way would be to winning against other trainers. And what I mean by that is when you start off the game and you probably you go for the first couple battles, they've got like a level 2 Wurmple or level 2 Patrat, things like that. Their train level will be about 1 or 2, because they're not the best trainers admittedly. However, you'll get XP for battling them. You'll be train level 1 as well, or train level 5, depending on what you could choose. So you'll be a low level, and then beating these trainers will help you build up your level because you are becoming a better trainer. And I think that would be a very good idea. Now, how the levels would work is that the lower level, the not as good trainer. Now, what I mean by that is, so basically, a level 1 trainer that you battle against won't do a good call. So say they've got I don't know, like say it's May, she's a level 1 trainer. She's got a Torchic, you've got a Trico. She goes, instead for the Ember, which would be the good call to raise up her train level, because she's not the best trainer, she's only level 1, she don't really know too much. She would then go for like a Tail Whip, which won't decrease her level, it just won't increase her level. So going against lower ranked trainers could give you a kind of benefit in the start of the game to with calls, because then these lower trainers won't really know what to do, and then you as a trainer could know and build up your own training level whilst you're battling against these CPU trainers who aren't the best level. But when you get to the champion, who won't be probably level 100, maybe about 80 or 90, they'll be making a lot of good calls. They'll know what would be super effective, how to use the moves, what to use the moves, maybe switch out a little more, make the battles a little more interesting. I think that'd be a good idea to put in. I wouldn't make the champion the strongest trainer in the game. Well, I would make it the strongest, but not the absolute strongest, as in level 100. I think that should be a personal target for you, the trainer, to get up to yourself, to actually be the best in the actual game. And then I put here about reputation at level 100. So you could walk around and people are like, hey, it's JJ, you're the level 100 trainer, you're the best trainer in the home region. Please take this. And they give you like a ribbon or an item, Pokeball, you know, things like that. And I think that'd be quite interesting. Right? People recognise you as the strongest trainer in the game. And also what I put here is new areas to unlock at certain trainer level. So basically, by the time you beat the game, you could be about level 70. So maybe you can unlock a new region or a new area where you can catch new Pokemon, get new items, things like that, exclusive items just to that area, which you can get off a tree, off people there, things like that. When you're, say, trainer rank 10 or something, well, not 10, like 90, but you can unlock different areas at different levels, which could increase, like, for different areas. For you could surf that at level 10, because then there'll be more Pokemon to catch through Pokedex. Now, there could be like a dotted load of islands throughout the whole home region, where you can only go there by being a certain rank, and which is rank 100. You could go to all the areas, catch pretty much all the Pokemon you want, apart from the game exclusives and things like that. And I think that'd be a quite good idea to put into the game. So for number 3, I've put about the Pokemarts and Pokemon Center. I strongly agree that there should be a separate build from Pokemarts and Pokemon Centers. I just talk about this briefly because it's not a huge topic. I think if they're making a remake of the games with a separate building for Pokemarts and a separate building for Pokemon Centers, they should include that in the new games. There is a screenshot, I'll try and find one to put on the screen now, about you kind of see a Pokemon Center, but you don't quite see a Pokemon Mart. But it's got the same design as a normal Pokemon Center, so that'll kind of lead me to think that they would put a Pokemon Mart in there. But we're not sure, but I do hope they do put 2 separate buildings in for the 2. Number 4 is going to be challenges. Now, in Black 2 and White 2, there was the whole medal system, which I thought was quite good actually. I found it really interesting to do. But with the challenges, you could get rewards for your Pokemon / trainer, so you yourself and your Pokemon. So you could say it could be things like get 5 super effective moves in the game. Unlock 10 XP through Pokemon. I know that's not a lot, but that's just a definition. So things like that could be quite interesting to see and do. I think that would be quite interesting to have in the game, and also that could help build up your trainer rank as well, to unlock new Pokemon and things like that, or like new areas. I think that would be quite a good implement into the game, because it will give you something to do for after the game. Although you could do it before the game, it could give you a lot more to do after the game, trying to collect all the challenges, unlock new areas, catch all the Pokemon, things like that really. And then I put here about if you complete all the challenges, you get a good item. Not sure what the item could be. Maybe it's just a new item included into the game. I'm not too sure. That could be just as like a reward. I'm not too sure. Finally, for number 5, another poorly edited picture will now be on the screen, is game completion. Now, I think this would be a very good idea, because seeing how much you've actually completed the game. Like, that could be things like you've got all 8 badges, that's a certain percentage, beat the Elite Four, beat Champion, train rank 100, Pokedex completion, things like that all add up to the 100%. Once you've got 100%, you get, say, the, is it the Shiny Charm? I think that's what it's called, where shiny Pokemon become more frequent. So I think that would give you you've built up all the way to the end of the game, literally quite to the end, you got 100%. And then finally, once you've done that, you think, oh wow, I've got nothing left to do now. You've now got a shiny charm, and now you can go ahead and find a shiny Pokemon that you might want to go ahead and do. So the game in that way, the game has then given you something a lot to do after the game, and then even when you've done all that, it gives you something optional to do afterwards if you want to. So I think that would be a good idea. Let me know in the comments below what you think would be a good idea for after game, and what ideas you would have for Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. If you've enjoyed today's video, please leave a like, and I'll see you next time for another Pokemon video. Goodbye.